Okay, in this session, we'll show you how a 3D printer is calibrated. What is the purpose of 3D printer? So here, 3D printer basically bed is basically provided with a platform. So here it is a platform on which we have a red color one is a heated bed, and there is a glass, basically a bed on which a product is going to be 3D printed here. So what happens here, you can see this platform. So here it is supported only at one end, basically it has a cantilever support. So what happens after some certain interval of time, so it may bend like this, basically it overhang. So what happens once it is overhang, so here the surface will be flat, but here it will be inclined by some angle. So but for the 3D printer, not to print and the product to be printed in a uniform way, so this complete platform on which the bed is mounted, it should be completely flat, completely horizontal, and we don't know whether it is flat or not. In order to check the flatness, in order to check whether the surface at all the four corners, it should be horizontal. In order to check it, will be we have to do the calibration, and we'll show you how to calibrate it. And right now it is not calibrated, but is not calibrated, it is simply placed here. We'll show you how to calibrate it. Okay, for the calibration, we'll be using one software called as PrintRun. So we'll show you how to download it. So here we'll go to the Chrome tab. So simply type PrintRun and just click enter. So here the very first icon you will get is www.prointerface.com. So this is the through which, this is the website through which we will get the PrintRun software. So just click on this. So this is the PrintRun software we'll get. So here the very on the left top side corner, we have something called as a PrintRun 3D printing hose suit. So simply click on this, get it. So it will directly move to the download part. So here it is a download part, and here directly go to this Windows. So I am using a Windows 64-bit software. So directly click on this Windows, and the complete product is going to download. And here these are the latest versions we have. The first, it was launched on 3rd of February 2015, and right now 18 November 2017, this was the last update from the PrintRun. Just click on the link here. So here it is going to start downloading. So this is the PrintRun Windows, and this is the file you will get. So basically we'll be getting the zip file. So what I will do, we'll copy paste it. So we'll copy the software part, basically the zip file, we'll copy it, and we'll paste it in a separate folder in the drive. So we'll go to some E drive and we'll create a new folder, and we'll open this and we'll paste it here. Okay, next thing is what we have to do is we have to extract the files which are there in the zip. So right click on this, so extract all. Click on this extract all, and here go to browse, select the folder to be extracted. I've already created a new folder, computer, go to E drive, and here there is something called as a new folder that I have created. Click on this, double click on this new folder, and then click OK. Then here click on extract. So all the files which are there in the zip, basically the product key, it is going to be extracted now. So extraction is complete. So this is the zip file and this is the extracted file. So if you want to retain the zip file, you just retain it, and here just double click on the extracted file. So these are the folders, or these are the icons you will get once you double click on the PrintRun software, extracted PrintRun software. So next thing is there is something called as a Pro interface. You have to run the Pro interface. Basically you have to run the PrintRun software by clicking on this Pro interface. So before that, what we have to do is there is something called as there is a Arduino which is mounted in a 3D printer, and for the Arduino there is something called as there is a software called as Merlin software, we have to set it according to, basically we have to configure the Merlin software. Once it is configured according to the respective 3D printer, because 3D printers, we have different 3D printers, we have like Skara, XY, Delta. So depending for the particular 3D printer, we have to configure it. Once it is configured, then we have to install the same software, basically the configuration, into the Arduino. Basically we have to dump the set of instructions or set of program to the Arduino. Once it is done, then only we can operate this Pro interface. Here I've already installed it. I've already installed the respective software, that is a Merlin software with the respective configuration into the Arduino. It is already dumped in the Arduino. Next thing is, we have a cable. So next thing is, we have to connect 3D printer to the CPU. So not to connect it, so we will be using a cable. So this is the cable we'll be using. So this is a type of cable we use. So this port is used to connect to the Arduino and this to the CPU. So we'll connect it now. So it is connected. So now I'm inserting USB port to the CPU. Also make sure that the power supply is connected. You will be supplying the power. So this is the PSU cable. So this is the PSU cable which is already. So it is already. This is the PSU cable and which is connected to the PSU, and the power cable which is running from the PSU, and that will be connected to the, that is already connected to the switchboard, and I am turning on the power. Okay, so right now fan is running. I am getting that sound. So we're turning it. Okay, so this is the first thing we have to do before going for the calibration. Next thing is, so it is done. Click on this, double click on this Pro interface software. So this is the software basically used for the calibration of 3D printer. This is one of the most commonly used software for the calibration. And here we can calibrate the 3D printer, and also whatever the programs will get, basically G codes and M codes can be run with the help of this software, but slicing cannot be done, or slicing is impossible with the help of this software. For slicing we'll be using some other software called as Cura, and some other softwares are there. Using that we'll be doing the slicing. So once slicing is done, G codes and M codes will be generated, and those only G codes and M codes can be run by copy pasting this, by copy pasting those codes in the windows, in the white screen here, and we can run the G codes and M codes. That is possible with the help of this software, but slicing is not at all possible with the help of this software. Next thing is, first thing is, we have to select the port. That is the first or primary thing. So here there is a icon called as port, and here in the drop down you select the type of port we have connected. So here I have connected a COM5, so click on this COM5, that is the port we connected. And then next thing is, just move the cursor on this, it show you select the baud rate for the printer for the communication purpose. So baud rate is nothing but amount of bytes to be sent per second or per unit time, that is baud rate. And in the Merlin software have selected 250,000 as a baud rate, and here while selecting in the software, that is a Pro interface or a print run software, we have to select the same number, 250,000. So it is already selected. Then next thing is, we have to connect it, and here there is something called as a motor off. So basically motor will be working now. Here X and Y motor speed can be varied by changing this. So we used to maintain an optimum speed of 1000 mm per minute. This is the optimum speed for X and Y motor, stepper motor, and similarly for Z, we used to maintain an optimum speed of 100 mm per minute. So this is the commonly used stepper motor speed for X and Y as well as Z. So this is the commonly used and will be maintaining the same. Basically these two are the optimum speed. Next thing is we have to connect it. So click on the button connect. So you can see this. Initially it will show connecting, then it will show some set of programs and it will say that it is connected. So now it is showing that printer is now online. Okay, we'll show you again by disconnecting it. So right now it is disconnected. So select the port and the baud rate, then click on connect. So now it is showing connecting, so it is connected. So what happens if you select some other port? So right now we'll be selecting COM1. This is not the port which is connected. So before that, disconnect it, then select other port other than the printer which is connected. So COM5 is a printer that I have connected. Click on COM1 and simply connect here. So right now it is showing some error. So could not connect to COM1 at a baud rate of 2,50,000, which means that this is not the particular port. So in that case, what you have to do is you have to change the port. So how to change it? Drop down the port, click on COM5 and you will get this, then connect it. So it is connected. Okay, next thing is we have a circle here and it is provided with X and there is a home, Z home as well as Y home, and this is a home for all the three axes. So individual homes we have for X, Y as well as Z, and we have a all home for all three axes X, Y, Z we have here. And if I click on this, okay, if I click on this all home, then all the stepper motors will run into the minimum position of their respective axis. X will run to the minimum position of X axis, Y minimum position of Y axis, and Z minimum position to the minimum position of Z axis. So here, before doing anything, the first very important thing we have to do is we have to run, or we have to trigger, or we have to activate the end stopper. So already we have said that we are using 3 stepper motor, one for X axis, one for Y axis, and one for Z axis. So we have to activate it. How to activate it we'll show you, and for the activation we'll be using a 1M code called as M119. It is not case sensitive. You can use small m or else you can use capital M. It is not at all case sensitive. Just type M119 and if you click enter, and you can see this X minimum is triggered, Y minimum is triggered, Z minimum is triggered. So now what I will do, right now all the three axes, basically the complete 3D printer is exactly at the minimum position of X, Y as well as Z axis. So now what I will do, will move all the three axes by some 1 mm or 10 mm. X I am giving it as X plus, I am giving as 10 mm. Similarly Y I am giving it as positive movement, and Z also will give positive movement. Okay, you can see bed is smooth. Okay, now what I will do, will click on M119, will press enter. So now what this thing will show is M119. If you click on, without pressing the end stopper, it will shows that it is open. So right now you can see the screen here. So you can see the screen, X minimum, Y minimum and Z minimum, it is all three end stoppers are open. So first thing is we have to activate it. How to activate? So move to the 3D printer. So this is a Z-axis end stopper. Just press the end stopper and here say M119. Click enter. So you can see that X minimum is open, Y minimum is open, Z is triggered, which means that Z end stopper or Z axis end stopper is activated. Similarly, repeat the same for X as well as Y. So here we have, so press the end stopper, then click enter. So this is a Y axis end stopper, it is activated. Similarly, we have X axis end stopper, press the end stopper, then click enter. So you can see on the screen now, Z axis is triggered, which means that it is activated. Y axis, it is triggered, which means that Y axis end stopper is activated. X axis triggered, which means that it is activated. So again, if we click on this, so all three are open. So you have to do this. First thing is you have to individually press end stoppers followed by, and you have to leave the end stopper, then press enter. Then it has to say open, open, open for all the three axis end stopper. So which means that our end stopper is activated. And you can see here X minimum, Y minimum, Z minimum, which means that we have mounted X axis end stopper to the minimum position. Similarly, Y minimum, Z minimum, so three end stoppers are mounted at minimum, they are mounted at the minimum position of three axis. Okay, so now we'll check whether the stepper motor is connected in a right way or wrong way. That is, it is connected in a positive side or a negative side. How to check it? And here you can see this, and here there is a circle. If I move the cursor here, if I move the cursor on the positive X side, point 1 is activated, which means that if I click on this, then complete nozzle will move 0.1 mm towards, that is away from the end stopper, that is on the positive side of X axis. And if I click here, then complete nozzle will move 1 mm away from the end stopper, X axis end stopper. Similarly, 10 mm away from the X axis end stopper, 100 mm away from X axis end stopper. So now we'll show you. So right now we'll press this. So you can see the movement. I am pressing X axis, positive X side X axis by 10 mm. Basically, now I am doing. I'm saying 3D printer basically nozzle to move 10 mm along positive side of X axis. So here, this is, here we have X axis end stopper. This is mounted to the minimum position of X axis, and I clicked X axis positive side, that is I told the 3D printer to move 10 mm towards the X axis, that too away from the X axis end stopper. Right now it is moved, which means that the motor is connected in a right way. Again we will repeat the same. So right now nozzle is moving 10 mm away from the end stopper, X axis end stopper. So X axis stepper motor is fine, it is working fine. So sometimes what happens, even though if you click on positive X axis, it will move in the opposite direction, that is positive X axis, sometimes it may move towards the end stopper. At that time what we have to do is, we have to alter the, so at that time, so turn this, and here, so you have to remove this. I mean basically this is a Y axis, so here this is a X axis stepper motor connection. You have to plug it out and you have to make it ulta. So right now we'll show you for Y axis. So right now black wire is at the top, you just plug it out turn it to the other side and insert it. But at that time, so blue wire will be come out to the top side. This is what we have to do. When you try to move nozzle towards the positive side, but it moves towards the end stopper. Similarly, we'll check it for y-axis as well as z-axis. So now we'll click on 100. So right now it is moving away from the end stopper, which means that it is right. Similarly, we'll check it for we'll check it for y. 10 mm y will give, so it has to move away from the y-axis end stopper. So see, y-axis end stopper is here, and I click positive y, which means that it has to move away from the end stopper. Right now it is moving, and if it is moving in the opposite side, what we have to do is we have to we have to interchange the port of stepper motor on the back side. So now we'll give 100. So it is moving fine. Okay, so X and Y. So now we'll give X home. We'll see what will happen. I'm clicking X home. So it is working fine. Similarly, we'll check for Y home. So Y home means it has to move towards the end stopper. So it is working fine. So now next thing is we have to check the Z axis. How to check the Z axis? Z axis end stopper is already activated. So we'll give 1 mm, that is on the positive side. Here we have so this is the icons we use for Z axis, that is basically for the movement of the bed. So we'll give 1 mm and we'll check. We'll give 10 mm because the movement is very small. If you give 1 mm, we'll give 10 mm, that is positive Z. So bed is moving down, and here we have mounted a end stopper here and have given positive 10 mm Z axis. So it is moving down, which means that it is working fine. So again we'll move it down by positive 10 mm. So it is moving away from end stopper, which means that it is working fine. Again we'll move it. Okay, so it is working fine, and we'll check whether home. We'll check the home of Z axis, and one thing do remember, before before sending the respective nozzle, basically 3D printer to the home position, either X, Y or Z, you have to make sure that the end stopper is activated. Without that, we should not provide this home position. So we'll check the Z home, and it is moving up. So you can see the movement is very slow because so it is moving very slowly. Fine, it is activated and it is at the home position. And now you can check again by giving home of all the 3 axes. Okay, so all three end stoppers are activated, and it reached the home position of all the 3 axes. That is minimum X axis, minimum Y axis, and minimum Z axis position. So this is the initial thing we have to do. Okay, and you can see that you have seen that Z axis, basically the bed, it is moved very slowly because here you can see that I have given the speed as 100 mm per minute. So that is why it moved very slowly, and you can change the speed, but this is the optimum speed you have to maintain. And I don't know whether you might have observed or not, this is 1000 mm per minute. That is why X as well as Y axis, it is moved very rapidly, and you can alter the speed. Okay, next thing is we have to calibrate the bed. That is, we have to maintain very small distance between the tip of the nozzle and the bed surface. How to do it? First thing is, right now we are at the minimum position of x, y as well as z axis. First thing what I will do, will move x by 10 mm as well as y by 10 mm. First thing is we'll check up the corner or the origin, and you can see this. There is a small gap between the tip of the nozzle and the bed. You can see that there is a very small gap. So here what we have to do is we have to maintain a gap of one sheet thickness gap we have to maintain. How to do it? We'll take the screwdriver, and here we are provided heated bed, and we are provided a spring between the heated bed as well as a platform. The purpose of this is just to calibrate the bed. That is why we have mounted a spring here. Okay, the first thing is there is a small gap. We'll take a sheet. We'll take a A4 normal A4 size sheet. Okay, so here you just insert the sheet here. 1 second. We'll cut it off. Okay, right now there is a gap of at least some 1 mm gap is there. So what we have to do is we have to maintain a gap of see, it is freely moving. Okay, what we have to do is we have to reduce the gap. How to reduce the gap? Just at this corner we have a screw provided here. Okay, just lose this screw. Right now it is not possible because nozzle is restricting me to operate it. So we'll move this nozzle bit. Okay, so now, take the screwdriver, just here, you just loose a bit. So it's better if you hold the platform on one hand and do it with the other hand. So loose this, then again you check it, we'll send it to home position. Okay, so now you can see this. Okay, now, so the movement of the sheet is quite restricted. So which means that we have maintained thickness, or we have maintained a gap, or we have maintained a proper gap between the tip of the nozzle and the bed surface. So right now this corner is calibrated. So similarly what we have to do is we have to do the same for all the four corners as well as at the center. Center you need not to do it. If we set all the four corners, then center will be automatically set. So now we'll move the nozzle to this hand as well as this hand, and we'll check whether we have maintained a proper gap between the tip of the nozzle and the bed surface. So we'll move it with the help of the same software. We'll give X 100. Okay, so right now this corner is set. Similarly, we have to do the same on remaining three corners. So right now nozzle is here. We'll move the nozzle up to the opposite corner. So that is X positive will give . So we'll move bit by bit. And you can see there is a least gap between. So between we can see there is a least gap between the tip of the nozzle and the surface. So it is already set now. So if not, so what we have to do is using the spring, using the screw, we have to arrange it. So you can see, so the movement is quite restricted. So this is the minimum gap that we have to maintain. So similarly, do it for other two sides. Okay, here also see minimum gap is already been maintained. Okay, repeat this, do the same on the other lost side as well. So moving to the opposite lost corner. So I guess here also gap is properly maintained. So you can see. So here gap is more. So what you can do is you just tight the screw. So take the sheet and insert here. See, the movement is quite free. You just lose this. We'll check. Okay, so the movement is restricted now. So like this, we have to calibrate the bed on all the four corners. So once it is done, so bed is ready for the 3D printing. So now we'll disconnect it. So next thing is, what we have to do is we have to slice this. We have to import the material for the another software, that is either a Cura or RepeaterHost. That is a common software we use for slicing. So we have to import the product to be printed. Then we have to slice it, get the codes, and those codes will be sending for the 3D printing. So that's it. We'll show you in the next session.